Welcome back, guys. Great to see you. I hope you're all doing well in lockdown. This would have to seriously be my most procrastinated video in the last 2 years. So for 2 years I've been meaning to do this video, and it would be the one thing I get asked at the shop and asked all the time, and that's how to do a PR knot with a bobbin. Today, guys, I'm going to not just show you the PR knot, I'm going to show you my modified PR knot. Just since it's lockdown, I thought, why not call it the lockdown PR knot? So this is my own version of a PR knot. The lockdown PR knot. PR knot. Also, guys, why I try avoid doing knot videos is it is a logistical nightmare to try and film it. Set up the camera. Because of lockdown, I didn't get a chance to get an external boom in to film directly down. It's a bit of a nightmare, so I'll try and make the video as clear as possible, but let's do it. For today's tutorial, you need a PR bobbin. I'm using the SHIMANO PR bobbin, a cigarette lighter, the old trusty Bic will do the job. You need some mono or leader. First thing you need to do is feed the braid through the top hole of the bobbin. And then you're going to come down and you've got two O-rings there. They're designed to hold the braid while you're actually doing the knot. So what you need to do is grab tension on that end, tension on this end, and you're going to pull that down so that braid drops down between the O-rings there. Then you're just going to pull it up tight, and then I always like to chuck the tag end over onto the bobbin there. Then we're just going to swing that braid over onto the bobbin and over that tag end and start doing it up, and we're going to do 20 turns. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So 20 turns will give you plenty of tagging. Right, the next thing you're going to do is you're going to get your mono. For these purposes, I'm using 200-pound Black Magic, just massive so it's easy to show you guys the knot. So coil out that. Next thing, you want to just make sure your drag's not too tight but not too loose, if that makes sense. That's your drag on your bobbin, so the tighter you have it in, the harder that moves. So too loose, it'll come flying off. Too tight, it'll just lock up when you're actually doing the knot, and it makes it a lot harder. So I've set it there. That's probably maybe around half a kilo of drag, and the SHIMANO bobbins have got the same drag washers as most of their felt drags, so they're a felt drag inside there. Right, next thing you're going to do is you're going to run the mono up the braid, and then with one end you're going to come round and do a grip. And so I lost that there, but you're going to come round and you're going to get a good grip with that hand. And the other end there, you can see that braid's already started to coil over the line, and we want it to do that, so we're just going to coil it round slowly like that, and hopefully you guys can see that alright, that's coiled up around the mono there. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to wrap at the other end as well, so you've got a good firm grip there, and we're going to run the bobbin 6 turns down towards where your lure's going to be. So you're just going to go with the flow that way. So that's about 6 turns there. Next thing you want to do is just pull a bit of slack off, and you're just going to lead that braid back over the top of the 6 knots you've just done down towards the lure. And what we're going to do is work our way backwards this way, back over the top. And we're going to go about just under an inch long. So you're going to coil it and just work your way down, and we've got about an inch there. Now most PRs, you'll see they'll be anywhere from 2 inches to 3 inches. I mean, I've seen people's knots that are about 5 inches. It's too much. They don't need to be that big. This way you can use a PR for stick baiting because it'll cast through the eyes a lot better. Drop it down to under an inch. For my snapper sets, I do them approximately maybe about half a centimetre long, so they don't need to be big. Next thing you're going to do there is just take off the bobbin, and you can see I've got heaps of tag in there. That's just in case, you know, there's no harm having heaps of tag in. Next thing, team, is you're going to do a half hitch over there. And with that half hitch, you're just going to do it up, and you're going to make sure you do it real tight. Okay? So that'll hold the knot in place to start with. Next thing you're going to do, team, is you're going to get your mono shears and you're going to chop off that tag end. And you want it pretty close. I would say probably about 3 mil. Chop it off there. Next thing is wet the knot. And then you're going to get your lighter and you're going to burn a small mushroom on there. And it doesn't need to be big, guys. It just needs to be really small. Any bigger, it just makes it harder for casting or going through the eyes on your rod. So it only needs to be a small mushroom. From here, guys, as much tension as you can have both sides, the better off, even if you can get a mate to hold it. And then what you're going to do is you're going to do half hitches all the way up to the bottom of that mushroom, and then we're going to carry on up over. So I'm going to do a couple of half hitches here. You can alternate them if you want. Make sure as you do each one that it's nice and tight. Each time you do one, guys, make sure it's nice and tight and pull it right down, because you want to do a half hitches right up to the neck of that mushroom. So we can still do one more there. Nice and tight. Next thing what you're going to do is 3 alternating half hitches at the end of that. So that's 1, 2, 3. That effectively is a lockdown PR knot. But what I like to do, guys, is always like to finish the PR off with a locking knot. So what I do is I'm going to come and do a loop with the line, and then I'm going to come round and wrap that 7 times back through and out. So I think that's about 7 there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to wind it round and pack it in real nice and tight at the top of those half hitches there. And while I'm winding it round tight this way, it's actually going to unravel the other way, and then we're going to pull it up nice and tight. So I'm going to come around there. You want to make sure you're nice and close to the loop you've just done, and as you can see, it's uncoiling the other way. Come right up, round, and then what you do is hold that loop and you're going to pull that line, and that's pulled it right up nice and tight. And as you can see, the tag ends come out now below, and at the top there is a nice, like a smooth rounded loop to go through your eyes. Chop that off nice and close, and then, guys, I always use wax on my PR knots. So I get a bit of wax off there, put that on, and then basically just rubbing that wax over the PR knot, and that just locks it all in place, makes it nice and smooth. Right, that's it there, guys. That is the lockdown PR knot. So nice and short, it's under 1 inch long. You don't want it any longer than that. It doesn't need to be. That there is not going to break. And also, anything bigger than that, it just becomes cooter candy or a cooter target. So reduce it right down, and that is way better for casting as well. So I use that knot and that size on my stick bait rods or top water as well. That knot is bulletproof. After about half day, the tag end might come out, so I generally like to just re-wax it on the boat as well. But there you go, guys, that is a lockdown PR knot. What the f***? I thought you said this knot was easy. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the lockdown PR knot. If there's any other knots or anything else you'd like to know, just put in the comments below. But once again, guys, stay safe and I'll see you next time.